I'm ABX2Cat and welcome back to another second channel video. Today I'm going to be doing something quite fun I like to call Geography of Toycat, where I give you fun little facts about geography around the world by using Google Maps and maybe teach you a thing about the world while we do it. Because the thing is about the world is countries and borders, etc. are all really complex concepts that are kind of funny. Because when I was younger I used to think that, oh, it'd be really simple if all countries just had a nice straight line border like that. But the reality is you can't always do that. There's mountains, there's lakes, there's rivers, and there's also historical reasons why you need to kind of have a funny border, like if you look at the one between Russia and Kazakhstan, or really any border in the world, they're always kind of funny and zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. And yeah, today I'm going to be talking about some of the really cool borders in the world, that don't make sense even once you know that stuff. So, like it if you want to see more Geography of Toycat, but let's get straight into the video by explaining my first kind of coolest border, which is one that a lot of you are familiar with, which is the one between the US and Canada. So, this is one of the most recent borders in the world, or I guess it's like 200 years old, which means it's not that recent, but basically, when they decided to draw the line between the US and Canada, it was a really civil argument. It's like anything north of that is yours, anything south is ours. So it's a straight line border. Right? Not really. It kind of just jumps up there because they didn't understand how to measure. But yeah, you get some really, really weird things along the border, but that's not the key part of it. Although, actually, there's a really cool part of Vancouver, which is called Point Roberts, which is a part of the US. So if you want to go from Point Roberts to the city centre of Vancouver, you actually have to, go through Canada. And if you want to go to, your closest US city, you have to go through Canada just to get back to the US. It's kind of cool, kind of funny, but yeah, that's the US-Canada border is mostly a pretty good thing. But what I think is really cool about this is not its appearance on a map, but it's actually its appearance on, on a physical map from a satellite, because they decided that they wanted to make this border so clear between these countries. There is a massive, so even when it goes through forests and mountains and stuff, they decided to have a massive no-touching line where you can see there is, no forest, there's no trees there, there's no anything, just so you can see from space a literal physical border. And to me, this seems almost excessive, but I do kind of like it because, it's the only border you can actually see on a satellite map without having to have overlaid countries, and I kind of like that. So yeah, the US-Canada dividing line can actually be seen on a map, which is crazy, cool, and kind of weird at the same time. So yeah, that's the US-Canada divide. What about other kind of cool borders? Some the other ones are a little bit more complex because they use something called enclaves and exclaves. Because if you don't know, sometimes there are countries kind of hidden inside other countries. So kind of like how you get a landlocked country, you can get a part of your country which is entirely separated from the rest. So the coolest example, or the biggest example I'd say, is probably Russia. It's this massive country here. I think it's the biggest country on Earth by surface area, and then it's also got a little bit of Russia just chilling there. That's right. This part of Europe is actually Russia too. If you want to go from this part of Europe to the other part, this part of Russia to the other part, you have to cross at least two countries. Poland, Belarus, Lithuania, Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia. You have to go through two countries just to get back to your own one. Very, very, very weird stuff. But yeah, that's kind of the biggest example. But the reason I want to talk about it is because if you look at Belgium and Germany, this is one of those things where it's like, if you agree you own a certain part of the world and then you don't give up the claim, you get weird stuff like this. So basically, Belgium owns this river, but Germany own the land on the east of the river. So you can see this whole river belongs to you can see the river here belongs to Belgium, but on the other side of it, there's Germany, and you can see where the dividing line is. It means you have a really, really weird border between Belgium and Germany, like you can see just here, and where it gets really, really weird is you can see there's a tiny, tiny little dot here. There's this little field here, where basically, this is Germany, this is Belgium, and then this is, wait, it will actually show you if I zoom in close enough. It should anyway. But basically, this is Germany, this is Belgium, this is Germany again. That's right. There's a random field that belongs to Deutschland, Belgium. There you go. I don't know why it belongs to Germany. There are historical reasons for all of these, but it's very, very weird. So yeah, this is enclaves, exclaves, simple enough concept, and it's pretty cool, right? Well, if I quickly just I believe that's the name of the field. Basically, if you go to the India-Bangladesh border, it is a mess of enclaves and exclaves because people decided to, I believe they let people, decide where their land was on which side or the other. And basically this leads to situations where you got messes like this. Like, how do you even determine this as a border? Like, India, Bangladesh, India. Basically, you get orders of exclaves. So when you have an enclave inside an exclave inside, you can go over and over and over again. So, let's say inside that field in Germany, there was a bit of, Belgium. That'd be a second order enclave. However, the one I wanted to show you is where this goes to its real extreme. So it's called the Dahala Calabri, and I believe it's actually going to be fixed soon because they finally made an agreement. But because there's this, long disputed kind of territory between Bangladesh and India, where India owns some things, Bangladesh owns others, you get really, really, really confusing things like this, where let's try and make sure we get this straight. This is Bangladesh on this side, this is India on this side, this is Bangladesh again, and then this is India. This one guy's field, I believe there's one person living in this, is a part of India inside Bangladesh. Inside India inside Bangladesh. And it's right on the border between the two countries. I don't know how you even deal with that, because if he wants to walk to any major city, he has to walk, into Bangladesh, into India, into Bangladesh again. And it's just mind-blowing. There are hundreds of these along the border. They're trying to do trades for them to make them even again. But right now, there is just a mess like this. And I thought it was really cool to show off because, most people think of borders as being mostly straight lines. Because, the US and Canada, between a lot of countries do have nice straight line borders. But then you have countries like this where there is a border of just mess. And even countries where you have unofficial borders, where it's a fake border and they have to dot the line. And it's very, very confusing. So yeah, borders between countries are complex. Sometimes you get really cool stuff like this. Sometimes you just end up in a really confusing place. But either way, there are some things you might not have known about the world. I hope you did all enjoy the video. If you did like it, please do like it. Also, second channel, don't care. Goodbye.